Yo, how's it going, everybody? Welcome to Lycan Studios. So, a couple weeks ago, I actually brought you guys a video talking about my top 10 predictions for Game of Thrones Season 8. Most of them were pretty much backed by evidence, so this video we're going to do top 10 bold predictions. These are going to be predictions where I don't have as much evidence, and they're probably not as likely to actually happen. Definitely be sure to leave a comment letting me know what you think about these predictions. I know a lot of you guys probably won't agree on some, but I will try to give a little bit of evidence to back some of these up. So of course, real quick, before we get into the video, I gotta give the video shout out. So today's shout out goes to Haley Goodman. She's been showing up in the comments quite a bit lately, and it's just awesome. I want to say I really appreciate it, and I also found out she actually has a son named Logan, which is my name, so I just had to do it. Thank you once again for liking all the videos, commenting, and all that good stuff. We really appreciate it. And as always, guys, if you want a chance to be in one of these shout-outs, just make sure to keep liking, keep commenting, all that good stuff. Just stay involved, and I promise you'll end up in the shout-out soon. And last thing, before we jump into the video, I just want to let you guys know we do have a Patreon page, so definitely check it out if you're interested in exclusive stuff or getting your name on the credits. And also, we want to hit 200 likes on this video, so make sure to smash that thumbs up button. We really appreciate it. All right, so coming in at number 10 for my bold prediction list, I have Daario will return. I think Daario Naharis could return with the Golden Company. Daario is just such a strong character. He absolutely loves Daenerys. You can tell, everybody knows it. So I just feel like he may infiltrate the Golden Company kind of as like a low-ranking member and then just find himself heading towards King's Landing. A lot of people were thinking that he may actually become the Golden Company commander, but I'm pretty sure they already casted somebody else for it, and that's just very unlikely. How could he move up that fast not being in the Golden Company for that long? As of right now, I don't think there's been any news of him being spotted or anything, of course. You guys will probably already know about it, so the chances are slim, but I still think it could happen. So for the 9th spot, I have something that a lot of people think will actually happen, and I kind of do too as well, now that I've been thinking about it more and more. I think that Sansa will die. So I want you guys to think about this. I was reading about it, and it's actually really cool. What if all of these Starks actually have the same fate as their dire wolves? So you guys know that Robb and Grey Wind both were beheaded. I'm pretty sure they were beheaded, actually. Don't quote me on that, but they both died right at the Red Wedding. Then Bran's direwolf, Summer, died in the cave, sacrificing himself so Bran and Meera could escape the Whites' onslaught. Later, Meera tells Bran that he died in that cave when he became the Three-Eyed Raven. So technically, Bran and Summer suffered the same fate. Then, of course, you have Shaggy Dog, who was killed when Rickon and Osha were captured by Bolton allies, and soon after, Rickon was killed by Ramsay in the opening of the Battle of the Bastards. So then you have Nymeria, who's kind of running as a wild animal right now, which, if you think about it, Arya is kind of like an untamable spirit. And then you have Sansa. Sansa's direwolf died a while ago at the hands of a Stark. What if Bran actually is the Night King and he kills Sansa somehow? It's a long shot, but it could happen. So for number 8, it's kind of like a basic prediction. I just think it would be cool if we actually see some of the characters as White Walkers. If you think about it, we really haven't seen too many people actually turn, so I think it would be really cool if we seen some familiar faces. Definitely let me know in the comments who you would want to see as a White Walker. So for number 7, we have someone else returning, Jaqen H'ghar. It's funny, Tom, I can't even pronounce his last name, the guy who actually plays Jaqen, said in an interview when asked if he was going to be returning for Season 8, said, "A man knows nothing." That would have been absolutely hilarious. Jaqen H'ghar is such a fan favorite, I don't see how he doesn't come back for at least a scene or two. It could even be after the war is over and Arya actually heads back to Braavos. You never really know, but I think it would be great for him to return. Definitely let me know how you guys think he could pull it off. So for number 6, we have the fact that Tyrion could actually be a Targaryen. I'll just run through some of the things really quick that I've read that could actually make sense for him being a Targaryen instead of a Lannister. So first we have the fact that Aerys Targaryen had a thing for Joanna Lannister. So this is actually a conversation between Barristan and Daenerys that takes place in the book. Daenerys says, "Was there some woman Aerys actually loved better than his queen?" Barristan says, "Not loved, mayhaps wanted is a better word. As a youth, he was taken with Joanna. When she and Tywin wed, your father drank too much wine at the fest and was heard to say that it was a great pity that the Lord's right to the first night had been abolished. A drunken jape, no more, but Tywin Lannister was not a man to forget such words, or the liberties your father took during the bedding." Next, we have the mothers of Targaryens dying in childbirth. So the mothers of Tyrion, Jon Snow, and Daenerys all died in childbirth. They are the 3 main characters of A Song of Ice and Fire. Is that a coincidence? Next, we have a couple lines from the book that describes Tyrion's heritage. It says, "One green eye and one black, one peered out from under a lank fall of hair so blonde it seemed white. Hair pale, blonde and black. The Lannister children all have golden blonde hair without exception, but Tyrion's hair is described as pale blonde, which seems similar to Targaryen hair. Then of course we have everything that Tywin says to Tyrion. He says, "You are no son of mine. Men's laws give you the right to bear my name and display my colors, since I cannot prove that you are not mine." These could just be insults, but they also could be basically saying you were never my son anyways. Then we have the 3 things that have happened with the dragons. It says that he dreams of dragons a lot. Also, he frees Rhaegal and Viserion. And then last but not least, the dragon has 3 heads. He could fit into that prophecy, and they talk about it quite a bit in the books. The craziest thing, though, is I'm not exactly too sure how this could, like, majorly affect what's going to happen. Like, if they do find out that Tyrion is actually a Targaryen, like, what does that really mean? Tywin's already dead, so I don't feel like it'll really matter that much. Definitely let me know what you guys think, if you think it could actually like influence the story at all. It would definitely throw everyone for a loop, but I just don't really see it having a major impact. So for number 5, we have light will be shed on prophecies. Now this is just another extremely bold prediction, but I feel like they're going to start bringing in some of the prophecies. I think there's actually a scene where you can see Gilly reading about Azor Ahai in the Citadel. So with the books maybe that Sam, stole from the Citadel, they may start to shed light on more of the prophecies. So for number 4, we have Arya and Gendry not getting married. I bet you guys thought we were going to say getting married. No, a lot of people think that's going to happen, so I'm thinking it might actually be too played out. Arya may end up kind of just going off by herself. I don't really feel like she's the type to just be a lady, which she does say. She's going to continue to fight and continue to be an assassin. So for number 3, this actually, I kind of just thought about it recently. What if the last battle is actually at Winterfell? I'm not too sure if it'll happen. Like, I would say this is one of the least likely things to happen out of these predictions, but we actually just got a glimpse at pictures of Winterfell once again. As you can tell in the pictures, there's actually spiked contraptions that are probably supposed to ward off climbers. So the question is, could this actually be soldiers trying to climb up with siege ladders, or is it going to be the Horde of the Dead climbing over themselves? So if somehow Cersei's army actually ends up at Winterfell, that could be the spot for the last battle. I know King's Landing is probably going to get burned down somehow, but what if that's just dragons and they're just literally toasting everything? What if it's not really an actual battle because it actually ended at Winterfell? The Night King could be defeated there, as well as the Lannister army somehow. They could tie it all together. Honestly though, this one is the boldest of the predictions. I still personally think that Cersei and the Night King will see each other at King's Landing somehow, or will at least see each other because they have to. They just have to. How are you gonna have 2 of the worst villains in the show not actually see each other? Like, if the Night King dies before he actually gets to lay eyes on Cersei, or actually vice versa before Cersei gets to see him, I'll be very disappointed. I'm not gonna lie. So for number 2, we have the fact that Jaime will not kill Cersei. This is pretty bold as well, because if you follow the prophecy of the Valonqar, it kind of looks like Jaime will strangle Cersei. But there's one big thing. Cersei is a very smart character. Like, what if she actually loses the baby but doesn't tell Jaime, trying to keep him on her side? Because why would he strangle her knowing that she's pregnant with his kid? Also, you could throw in the fact that it could be Tyrion that actually kills her and, finishes the prophecy, or it could be Arya with Jaime's face or Tyrion's face. They also did leave that part of the prophecy out of the show. It could just be because they didn't really want to foreshadow it as much when they actually do have Jaime kill her, but at the same time, it could just be because they didn't want to disappoint people by not fulfilling that prophecy. And last but not least, we have for the number 1 bold prediction, Jon and Dany both living. It seems like if you ask anybody about this subject, they will say that Dany will die. A lot of people think she will die, some people think he will die, but no one really thinks that they both will live. If you really think about it, a bittersweet ending, which I know a lot of people hate that B word, I really do apologize, would not be anything but this. If Jon dies, that's gonna suck. That's bitter. If Dany dies, that's gonna suck. That's bitter. These characters are what this whole thing revolves around. And plus, we may have some evidence. So a lot of you guys do not know this, but a lot of you guys do. Martin actually wrote in an outline that 5 central characters will make it through all 3 volumes. However, growing from children to adults and changing the world and themselves in the process. In a sense, my trilogy is almost a generational saga, telling the life stories of these 5 characters. 3 men and 2 women. The 5 key players are Tyrion Lannister, Daenerys Targaryen, and 3 of the children of Winterfell, Arya, Bran, and the bastard Jon Snow. So if he was feeling back then that these are his 5 core characters that he wants to live, it may just happen. But then again, this was a long time ago, back when he thought it was only going to be a set of 3 books. Well, you know that's not true now. And also, when he said he does get the bittersweet ending from the writer of The Lord of the Rings, you can kind of take that as in, look, maybe not a lot of characters died in The Lord of the Rings, so maybe all these guys have a chance. Or not, and they all die and the White Walkers win. I'm just playing. But anyways, hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. Top 10 bold predictions. Make sure to check the description for the Patreon, the Twitter, all that good stuff. We'll see you guys in the next video. This has been Lycan Studios. Peace.